देव आरती चलो गुणाजे गुणेन्द्यः नत्तं देवं सकरुणं तव पाद पद्मं मोहङ्कषं बहुकृतं न भजे यतो तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो भक्तिर्भगश्च भज गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्त्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न मे भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृष्णा रागे कृते ऋतपथे त्वयि राम कृष्णे महत्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मि नाशं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीनबन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारी स्नान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नाम नाथ यस्मादहं त्वशरणो जगदेक रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। सृष्टिस्थिति विनाशानां शक्ति भूते सनातनी गुणाशये गुणमये नारायणी नमोस्तुते। शरणागता दीनार्त परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्थे हरे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जय 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 महामाई की जय जय भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण देव की जय जय स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय। प्रकृतिं परमा अभयामरना नररूपधरा जनतापहरा शरणागतसेवकतोषकरीं प्रणमामि परा जननी प्रणतेषु च शरणाश्रय दानेन कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते। लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते। रामकृष्णगत प्राणां तन्नाम श्रवणप्रिया तद्भाव रञ्जिताकारां प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। देवीं प्रसन्ना प्रणता त्रिहन्त्रीं योगेन्द्रपूजां योगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यं। स्नेहेन बध्नासि मनोस्मदीयं दोषानशेषाण सगुणी करोषि आहेतो नानो दयसे सदोषा स्वान्ते गृहीत्वा कृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोषित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। हनुमान चालीसा। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनो मुकुर सुधारि बरनो रघुवर विमल जसो जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत लित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मुंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महावंदन। पति कीने बहुत बढ़ाए, तुम मम प्रेम परत ही सम भाई, सहस वदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगाए, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद गणेशा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना, राम मिलाय राजपथ दीना, तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानो। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अक्षरज माहि, दुर्गम काज जगत के चेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमान धीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत जियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म संकटहरन मंगलमूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। ओम श्री राम जय जय राम। 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 ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
नमः श्री अतिराजाय विवेकानंद सूरे सच्चित् सुख स्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. So we resume Swami Vivekananda's Jnana Yoga after a long gap. Again, next 2 weeks I will not be here, so it does not really make sense to start a new lecture of his. So we had just finished this lecture called Unity in Diversity last time, and it might be worth the while to remind you of the main point of that particular lecture, and then again when we start again after 2 weeks, we'll start with the next lecture. Okay, so this is chapter 9 of Jnana Yoga, Unity in Diversity, which we had finished last time. But there are certain points in it which are rather deep, and so it makes sense. It's probably worth our while to think a little bit about it. So right at the beginning of that lecture, what had he said? He quoted from the Kathopanishad, the self-existent one projected the senses outwards, and therefore a man looks outwards, not within himself. A certain wise one, desiring immortality, with inverted senses, perceived the self within. And then, in that very first paragraph, there's a free translation. This is actually of the second canto. The Kathopanishad is divided into 2 parts, and each has 3 chapters. And this is the first chapter of the second part. And the first verse is exactly this. We'll come to the original Sanskrit very soon. But the second verse of it, which he translates freely somewhat later, says, men of childish intellect, ignorant persons, run after desires which are external and enter the trap of far-reaching death. But the wise, understanding immortality, never seek for the eternal in this life of finite things. These two verses are rather profound. So it's probably worth it to say what it is in Sanskrit. And it's easy to misconstrue these because without a certain measure of manana, thinking deeply, the meaning does not become particularly clear. Okay, so what are the verses? It says, Paranchi khani vyatrinat swayambhu tasmat parak pashyati na antaratman. Paranchi, so parak is outside. Kha ani, so meaning ka literally means akasha. But here it means, so the tradition of the Upanishads, basically what it does is it tries to equate or tries to draw a fairly intimate relationship between aspects of our individual being and aspects of the world around us. So here, ka, while it denotes the sky, literally, it also denotes the organ through which we hear, because sound is carried in the sky and it enters through our ear. So here, the derived meaning of khani is essentially, literally, the ear through which we perceive sound. But then there is this ani, which is a pluralization, which basically means the senses. So what is the summary of that? Basically says that the senses are directed outwards, and it is as if the self-effulgent being seated in each of our hearts did violence to the senses so that they look outwards. I mean, it's a non-explanation explanation. It's just basically saying that our sense, we are accustomed to gaining knowledge from the world by looking outside. That's the first. And then, in that process, we gain the fairly clear knowledge that if this is all that there is, then surely death is an inevitable outcome of whatever life we have. So, once there's a clear grasp of this fact, once there's a clear grasp of this mortality of oneself, what happens? And the second line of the first verse comes in here. Kaschit dhiraha pratyak atmanam aikshat avritta chakshuh amritatvam icchan. A rare person equipped with a sharp, penetrating intellect. Dhi is this, the Sanskrit word here is dhi. What it means here is somebody who is equipped with this dhi is called dhiraha. So a rare person equipped with this kind of penetrating intellect, kaschid dhiraha, did what? Pratyagatmanam aikshat. Saw the innermost being of oneself. Pratyagatmanam aikshat. Saw. How? Avritta chakshuh. Having turned the senses away from the world around us. But fueled by what? Amritatvam icchan. Desirous of immortality. These words are, we read these words and pay kind of homage to the words without really trying to understand what exactly is the significance. What is going on here? It's essentially saying that, look, so long as we take as real only that which changes, only that which is grasped and inferred from in terms of our senses, so long will we regard ourselves as mortal beings. And this final source of all our fears and anxieties, namely our individual mortality, is not going to leave us. What then? There is no dearth of stories in our Puranas, where some individual or some individuals, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes middling, did some form of extreme austerity in the hope of gaining immortality. And inevitably that leads to all kinds of problems. These are stories, and what they are doing in a certain sense is trying to put together things which are on the face of it rather contradictory. What is happening there is that an individual, regarding himself or herself as an embodied being, is desirous of living on and on and on, and that is understood as immortality, which means that this physical system, which we know to be mortal, is supposed to be converted into something that is immortal. That's the misunderstanding of this whole thing, and very often we go on with this misunderstanding and spin various stories and various narratives around it in order to placate ourselves, and death does not go away because we have just fooled ourselves. What is the way out then? The way out is to have a fairly clear introspective analysis and ask ourselves, firstly, what is it in ourselves? Where exactly is the locus of mortality in our individual being? First, question 1, therefore, is there in our being an essential part which is mortal, which is subject to death? First. Second, is that part really essential to my own being? If it is intrinsically related to what one thinks of oneself, whatever one's self-identity is, then there is no immortality at all. It's just a word, it's a figment of imagination. So that question needs to be answered. If on the other hand, if that's the case, then the only solution is completely, wholeheartedly accept the mortality of ourselves. If on the other hand, there is a faint hint of an aspect of one's being which is not subject to this kind of mortality, then, and if one is interested in getting rid of fear and anxiety once and for all, then it's important to find where it is in one's psyche, in one's being. So first question is, where is the locus of mortality in our psyche? Question 1. Second, is that all of ourselves? If yes, then accept mortality as the sure short consequence of everything that we do, and there's no way out. But if not, then inquire into what exactly is it about us that is not subject to this kind of mortal rules. So, even the Kathopanishad started with exactly that question. Nachiketa asks, Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye asti iti eke nayam asti iti chaike. So it's basically asked, right? when an individual passes away, some say that that person is, some say that person is not. Here is the fundamental contradiction. It's not that we are the only people who are subject to this confusion. The Upanishad starts with this exact same existential problem. Says, once somebody passes away, some say that person is, some say that person is not. There is, of course, this reflexive thing about ourselves, which basically asks, look, am I going to be subject to the same pain, death, disease that all the people we are seeing around us are subject to? And the obvious answer should be yes. And if that's not something that we are covetous of, if that's not something that we are willing to accept as an inevitability, then it's important to ask this further question, is that all one's being? Is that all of one's being? This raises fundamental questions. What does it mean to oneself? What does it mean to say that I am? That question really needs to be answered if one has to get to the root of this question of mortality versus immortality. What is the other way out? And that's how the second verse comes here, which is what Vivekananda had freely translated at the beginning of this lecture. Paracha kaman anuyanti balaha te mrityoryanti vitatasya pasham athadhira amritatvam viditva dhruvam adhruveshu ihana prarthayante. So where exactly, looking outside is a certain normal behavior of the senses. It is through which, through these things, we acquire knowledge, acquire various skills, and so on. The question remains that, look, is my entire being then dependent on all of this that we acquire from outside through our senses? This acquisition of things from outside, and then at a certain point of time, making one's own existence entirely dependent on that, is what is being described here, paracha kaman anuyanti balaha. This is the tendency of the mindless. Bala here is basically talking about childish intellect. What it really means is that the non-discriminating intellect, the mind that refuses to go to the heart of things, it fools itself by being absorbed in one little pastime after another, does not pause to look within and ask oneself, what is it that I really want of my existence? But once one has a question like that and it bothers one day and night, then a serious answer needs to be found. That answer need not be something about which we give lectures as now, but it's something that we need to do, perform, an exercise that we need to perform in the quiet stillness of our hearts. Essentially, nobody else needs to know, but we need to ask ourselves, what is it that really gives me satisfaction, gives me joy, gives me peace? One. Second, am I acting according to that? This is what introspective intellect is about. And the opposite of that is being talked about here, paracha kaman anuyanti balaha. What happens if one deludes oneself, if one forgets oneself in these various pastimes? Mritte mrityoryanti vitatasya pasham. This self-forgetfulness is what is mortality. That is being identified here. See, the first verse gave rise to this question, what is the locus of mortality? And if we try to attribute that mortality to this physical function where the heart ceases to beat or the brain ceases to function, then we would have missed the point. I do not have a direct perception, or could not possibly have a direct perception of my heart stopping to beat or my brain stopping to function. Therefore, the locus of mortality, and hence the locus of immortality, if it exists, is to be found in the here and now, not in some mystical twilight, not in some narrative, not in some stories. It is to be found in the here and now, in one's direct subjective experience at this moment. Am I really asking myself first, am I ridden with fear? Is there some source of dissatisfaction in my being at the moment? If so, what is the root of it? And what is a way to get rid of it? And inevitably what happens is that when we try to answer these questions for ourselves, it's basically boils down to saying that, look, the source of satisfaction is not from the outside, it is something that wells up from within, and it goes away only when we decide to forget it. Usually the answer to such an assertion is that, oh, I just forgot it, but I am not the agent of this forgetting. It's a very convenient way of refusing to take responsibilities for the vagaries of one's own mind. Nobody else is responsible for the vagaries of my mind. And even if they are, there is in one's own hand the capacity of doing what one can about it. After all, it's my mind. Nobody is going to come and massage it for me. It is my job to take care of it. Can we do that? Once we start doing that, what happens? A certain level of alertness comes in, and so really every moment of our existence becomes an addressing of this fundamental question: what is it about my being that is mortal? And that is the source of dissatisfaction in us, finally. And what is the locus of this, what is the locus of complete, unquestioning, unconditional satisfaction? Is there such a thing in one's being itself? And slowly, what happens is that this process of enquiry, it's not just something that is an intellectual exercise, but really in various traditions which stress this enquiry, it is this introspective enquiry which is called vichara, analysis, self-analysis. What is it that gives me deeper satisfaction? That's the question. That simple question is what one is supposed to be asking oneself. If the answer becomes, oh, I need to acquire such and such a thing, what have I done? I have outsourced my satisfaction. In other words, nobody has told me that you have to put your satisfaction in somebody else's pocket. What has happened is that we have decided at a certain level, perhaps consciously, perhaps most of the time unconsciously, to outsource our satisfaction and put it in somebody else's pocket. And then we turn around and say, oh, I am not getting this and therefore I am dissatisfied. What is being said here is that address the mind here when it plays this prank on oneself. This joy, sorrow, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, whose is it? It is of one's own mind. And if one can train that mind to find satisfaction in the present moment, then what will happen is very simple, that source of dissatisfaction, the opposite, is going to go away. Just as physically we need exercise, what is being suggested here is this constant alertness, this constant discrimination. This is called discrimination or viveka. Yeah? This sharp alertness is what prevents the mind from forgetting its goal. Forgetting its goal meaning this satisfaction, this permanent unconditional satisfaction is what one is after. And in those words themselves is hidden the message of immortality. If one catches hold of the moment, then in the present moment there is no past, there is no future. In fact, the past is defined in terms of my present experience, so is the future. All that is there is the present moment. And once that is caught hold of, and one lives in the present, one has started practicing the opposite of mortality. Why? Where is mortality? Mortality is supposed to be this body falling off. But if one has practiced this living in the moment, then there is no future, there is no past, there is only this eternal present. It's a practice, it's not something esoteric. It is as unmystical as possible. It's the opposite of mysterious things that we tell ourselves, stories that we tell ourselves to forget this present moment. This is exactly the opposite, keeping one's mind entirely focused on the present moment. If such be the case, then even at the point of death, the mind will be completely alert, fixed onto the present instant. And then the body falling off or the body surviving will not be a concern, but holding on to the present moment will be. This conquest of time, this conquest of the hold that time has on our psyche, is exactly the locus of immortality. It is then not something that is mysterious, not something that is mystical, not something that is covered in some twilight zone with vague words, but it is really the maintaining of complete clarity and precision in the present moment, where we need to seek the answer to these fundamental questions. And therefore, the solution to this basic question that the Kathopanishad asks is to turn the mind inwards through this process of introspective analysis and ask ourselves, am I doing what I am doing at this moment with full focus on this moment itself? Once that is there, then all the rest becomes secondary. And this rendering of the passage of time as something that is of secondary importance means that something else has become primary. What is it? It is this focus here. Reading, writing, moving around, but with full awareness. That focus on the present moment is the thread of immortality which this Upanishad is telling us about. Yeah? And forgetting that, through coveting this and coveting that, being anxious about this for tomorrow, regretting something that has happened yesterday, this is what forgetfulness is about. Its opposite is alertness and present and maintaining complete awareness in the present. There is no theology here, there is no mysticism here, there is no narrative making here. In fact, it goes counter to this habit of the mind which spins narratives about one's present existence right here, right now. Yeah? That's the solution to this fundamental existential question. And then what happens? This atha dhira amritatvam viditva dhruvam adhruveshu ihana prarthayante. This is what we have just now been discussing is summarized in this last line of the second verse of the second chapter, second part of the second chapter of the Kathopanishad. Atha dhira amritatvam viditva dhruvam is permanent, adhruveshu, in this changeful impermanent, iha na prarthayante, does not seek this permanent reality, this truth, in this changeful reality. Yeah. So essentially, what is the training? What is the result of being equipped with this dhi, with this clear intellect? It is not seeking for that permanent in this impermanent, changeful world, but turning the mind within and seeking that reality in the only place where it can be hunted for, namely that aspect of our being which gives rise to the notion of time, not that part of the being which is caught in the meshes of time. It is in this quiet stillness which allows one to see various events as coming and going and not being affected by them. It is there that this transcendence of time is supposed to take place. All things happening, but not with this personal investment. It is happening, but not happening to me. It is one's own choice to decide when something happens, do I allow myself to go out through the senses and get caught in that stream of events? Or can I step back and see these events as happening? And once one sees those events as happening just as an observer, then what has happened is that one has become an observer of time. Time is no longer something that catches hold of us. It's not going to happen all of a sudden. But this practice of looking at events from a detached perspective, events happening, coming into our field of vision and then drifting away. I think in the Vivek Chudamani it says, like clouds that come into the sky, float around there, play around there for some time, and then float away. Very similar things are there in Ashtavakra Samhita and Avadhut Gita. It is this capacity for being a detached observer for things that happen, even the mental conditions, sorrow, anger, fear, and joy, and confidence, all of that. These are habits of the mind. They come and play in the horizon. But oneself, one is the detached observer, and then one, through one's practice, what happens that this detached observer, the practice of this being this detached observer allows our mind to penetrate slowly further and further inwards, and the question that gave rise to this Upanishad is automatically answered from within. So we'll return after 2 weeks and come back to this. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.